I'm going to tell you what I mean by proper nutrition in 30 seconds. So this is what we're going to dive into. Nutrition for runners, how to get faster, avoid injuries, recover, and really hit your maintenance goals. So first, this is what I looked like 22 weeks ago. I started this prep. I'm training for my 7th 50 miler. This is what I look like now. Okay, let's dive into it. So I talk about getting faster all the time, but we just don't run to get faster. How you get faster is outside of it. It starts with nutrition, rebuilding the muscle, rehydrating, recovering, and then from there, rebuilding into the next workout. Now, if you're a runner, a lot of them under fuel. I understand. I did at one point, I had eating disorders. A lot of runners and athletes do. I'm not here to talk about that, but 9 times out of 10, you are under fueling, and this is how you find out. Before we talk about nutrition, fueling, we need to find your maintenance, okay? Step on the scale in the morning, take your weight, multiply it by 13 to 15. On average, that should be where you're at. If you really want to find it, take the next 4 weeks, take that number, weigh yourself every morning. Track your macros on MyFitnessPal or lose it. If week after week on those 4 weeks, you are not gaining or losing weight, you are at maintenance, you are maintaining, that is what you need to eat. If you're losing a pound, 1 pound is equal to 3,500 calories. So take that 3,500 calories, find your maintenance, divide it by 7. If you're eating 2,000 calories, now you're eating 2,500 calories basically every single day. Weigh yourself, and that's how you find your maintenance. Now we need to talk about proper nutrition. I was at 1,700 calories when I started, which is completely under fueling. Now I'm at 4,000 calories. I'll drop them here. Proper nutrition is your macronutrients and your micronutrients. Macros, protein, fats, carbs. Micro is basically all your vitamins, minerals coming from fruits, vegetables, that type of stuff. So I put protein first. Protein equals protection, carbs equal fuel, fat equals balance. What I mean by that is your protection is your protein. You build muscle with your protein, you protect it from breaking down. Carbs equal fuel, fat is basically your balance, your hormones and stuff like that. So proper nutrition, I talk about this all the time, is just finding your maintenance, getting your micro and macros, and eating clean food. Chicken, white rice, potatoes, that type of stuff. Don't go out there for a run, eat an acai bowl and call it a day. You're completely under fueling, your body's in starvation mode, and that's where injuries come into play. So my number one advice for training around actual runs is keep it simple. Now what I mean by that is if you run in the morning anything less than 8 miles and it's an easy run, you don't need to eat. 9 times out of 10, you could have 15 to 20% body fat and teach your body to use that stored glycogen as fuel. Or you're not really hitting a zone 4 to zone 5 where you're burning up those glycogen stores and you need carbs because carbs equal performance to go for that. So in the morning when I run, unless it's a speed work, I train fasted. I love it. I feel light, no digestion issues, anything, but I make sure that I hydrate. Now I hydrate with 24 ounces of water before with 1,000 milligrams of sodium. That's how you're going to hydrate, get your muscles up a little bit. And then from there, if you're going to be going into a hotter run, you're going to be losing that through your sweat. You need to replenish it. You need to make sure you have enough. My second thing is if you're going to be running and you need fuel in the morning, do not use your complex carbs. That's going to be your oatmeal. It's going to be your rice, that type of stuff. It takes way too long to digest, to convert, and then uses energy. What you're going to want to do, maple syrup, honey. It's very easy, low amounts of volume, not heavy on the gut. From there, you're going to feel light. You're still going to get that glycogen that you need for your body to go out there, fuel that zone 3, zone 4, zone 5 workout that in those zones, that's when you're using those carbohydrates. Anything zone 1 to zone 2, sometimes teetering on zone 3 or in a fat burning phase. The same concept kind of applies in the afternoon. Don't overthink things and keep it simple. If you're going to be training at 5 o'clock, you're already going to be having 3-4 meals before. You're going to be fueling properly with clean micro and macronutrients. You're not going to need much going into an easy run. If you're going to be going into a 10 miler or 20 miler, have the simple sugars before, have your actual race fuel, whatever you're doing per hour, 30, 50, 100 grams of carbs per hour, and make sure your sodium and hydration there. That is what I mean by proper nutrition, because we can go into the gym, break our muscles down. If we are not fueling at maintenance or in a surplus or whatever it may be, we're not going to rebuild, get bigger, faster, stronger. You know, that's why a lot of runners get injured. That's why a lot of runners are actually declining if you look at their stats. And when it comes to race day, a lot of runners bonk. You know, so there's a lot of things to talk about outside of the gym itself and outside of running, but without nutrition, you're not fueling your vehicle. Without gas, the car is going nowhere. So for you, if you have big goals and you want to get to that point, make sure before you even train, your nutrition is on point. There's no point of going to the gym or going for a long run if you're going to fast for 24 hours, let's say, which a lot of people do. There's no point of that. So that's what I do for nutrition. You guys see I transform my body, how much I'm eating right now and stuff like that. Start slow and steady, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's going to take time to build up. You can't just go from maintenance calories to 5,000 calories like myself. Your body will hold on to the fat. It will shut down. It'll not know what to do, and you're going to store everything. You need to slowly increase 100, 150 calories every single week until you can get to that point. If you're going to lose weight, it's the same thing. You're going to find your maintenance, and you're going to go, okay, this week I'm going to eat 100 calories less. I'm going to weigh myself. Then you're going to go week by week, and that's how you do it. Just by running. You don't go from 50 to 100-mile weeks. You slowly build. And that's my guidance of what I've done and how I like to fuel around my morning workouts, afternoon workouts, and kind of the breakdown of my micro and macronutrients along with anything. So if any runners have questions, I'm curious to what everyone else is doing, because I know a lot of runners, with all due respect, I understand some of them are skinny and stuff. I hold a little bit more muscle than normal, but I'm very curious because I'm always looking to learn in terms of like, oh, I eat this before a run, I eat this before a run. I stick with my maple syrup and my Rice Krispies because it's quick carbs as opposed to complex, but maybe there's something out there that I'm missing that I'll be like, oh wow, that actually is amazing. So any tips or anything like that, let me know. If not, questions always in the comments. I've got you guys. And keep fueling, keep hydrating, and keep winning. That's how we do it.